Hello. It's been a long time, right, since we had a chat, a little chat here and there. So I decided, today let's just talk, right? Yeah, I never got around to doing like, the whole Western region tour, review. I think Western region is one of the most beautiful regions, in Ghana that you can ever visit. So next time you're in Ghana, you should have that on your, bucket list, your to-do list. It should be somewhere, on that list of yours. When you go to Western region, what do I recommend that you do? I think there are some beaches you must visit. There are some resorts that you must visit. And so yeah, let's just get started, right? I had a list somewhere, but I can't find it, so we're just going to roll. Yeah. So the very first one, I think one my favorite one. Which one was it? I can't choose. They all have this, peculiarities. Each place has that little thing that makes it unique in a way. Yeah, but anyway, let's just start from my favorite ones and then we end up to what the least favorite ones, right? Yeah. So the first one, let's just off head, Maxim Beach Resort. You must visit that place because it's just a combination of the sandy beach and then and it's not like the sandy like the soft sand type of beach, and then they have the rocky side as well, so you get it's like the best of both worlds. So Agdim Beach Resort is like on my top list of places to visit. It's just a pity I couldn't spend a whole day there because you can just imagine just how beautiful the skies look at sunset and even at sunrise as well. I went, I think, in the middle of the day, but even then, it was just so beautiful. The pictures and the videos that you take just do not make, do not portray just how beautiful the place is. So I think you must go the next time you're in the Western region. So that's the first place, the first one. I think they have turtles there as well, but I guess maybe the time I went, I don't know, maybe they were hibernating or something. I don't know. I'm not into animals things, so I don't know. But they had Turtle Beach there, so but there were no turtles, so maybe they were somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, maybe you can find out when you are there. That wasn't really part of my agenda when I went. I was going for the beach, so I mean the turtles would have been a plus. So yeah, next time you go, you can find out or maybe read more about it. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I just should have made more research on that. But anyway, yeah. Point is the next place I would recommend is Blue Moon Resort. Blue Moon is more like for the picturesque view than for the sand, the beach itself. Like it really looks beautiful in pictures, and it's a good place for really, really nice pictures. But it's not, like the way the sand was, it was like a very rough or coarse, right? Or not that rough. But point is, it's not the type of beach that I would personally like to relax on. You get it? I would go there to take my nice pictures, pose here and there. But yeah, I'd rather, relax on Axim's beach than at Blue Moon's beach. So Blue Moon is more for like the pictures. Yeah, and if you really want to lie around in the sand, play around, I'll recommend Axim to you. And Cobra Beach is a pity I didn't get to go because, well, I didn't plan my stuff well. But if you go to the Western region, I recommend you go to Ankobra Beach. I hear it's one of the nicest beach. I certainly will be going back to Western region for sure in the future. But yeah, it's just a pity I didn't get to go. But if you find yourself there, you should go. Okay? Yeah, I'm sure you won't regret it. Which other beach did we visit? Butre Beach. Butre Beach is it's also one of the nicest beach I've ever been to. Like it was at the Butre side or village area, and it made sense. It was more secluded than Buzia Beach, and that's because like the sea there is rough. Like if you joke, the waves will just drag you away. So of course you have less people there. So it's only, I guess, experienced swimmers and things, people like that you see playing around in that beach. But it's a really nice beach. Also, the sand there was also sinking, like at what's the name? At Lumoon. Yeah. So that was something I noticed. But yeah, it's a really, really nice place for pictures. That singular rock that they have, standing there. I think it makes us unique, and you can just imagine the sunrise and sunset in such a place. So next time I go to Western region, I know for sure I'm spending a day at each of these spots because I must catch the sunrise and sunset at, just just fully experience the whole beachy mood. Yeah. So that's the plan in the future. I think I'll go for my birthday next year. That's a long way. Yeah, but yeah. Butre Beach is also one lovely beach, and it's like they have this turquoise color, And if you are talking about cleanliness, so far these three beaches were really, really clean. It just like, well, for Butre, it had the, what's it called? Seaweed. No, not seaweed. Something. The sea kept bringing some sea. Is it sea more seaweed? Something like that on the sand. Other than that, like Axim Beach, Blue Moon, they didn't have. Well, Blue Moon, the one part had that, the other part of the beach didn't. Yeah, so that's it. And then which other beach? Well, I think the height of all the beaches in Western region for me was Cape 3 Points. Like the view from the lighthouse is a must. You must visit their lighthouse because you just see the sea, from on top. You get it? Like from a really, really high point. And so you get to appreciate just how majestic everything is. Like it's just so beautiful, and you see the different colors of the sea, and then the sky. It's just a beautiful sight. It's not one you forget in a jiffy. And like I used to wonder, why are people just making so much noise about Cape 3 Points. I went to, well, my very first tour, well, solo tour, but it was with a group. Here is Ghana tours, by the way. Yeah, I had a nice time, so I'll join them one of these days for the other tours. I was actually supposed to join them for their Bunso tour on 3rd of May, I think. But something came up, so I couldn't join them. Sad. I hope they have that coming up somehow, somewhere in the future, because I'll certainly be joining that. But that's by the way. What was I even saying? Gosh, are you really? Yeah. What was I saying? Seriously? Really? We're talking about, yeah, I keep 3 points. So that's why I met Mr. Rab. Yeah, and he said like keep 3 points. He's been all over the place. So I mean, they were like, it's really, really nice. So I was like, yeah, I have to go there. So when I found myself in Western region and I could go, I was now, contemplating because it's expensive. Over there, like transportation is very expensive. That's one thing you should note down. Um, I got like the hotel I was staying, Arena Lodge, Beach Lodge. Yeah, the host was very nice. He had this, like, I guess he had this agreement with one particular driver, Mr. Mensa. I'll get his number and post it somewhere, in the description below. He was a really nice person. Like he knew all the hotspots. Yeah, and then he is nice enough. I felt safe to go around with him as a solo traveler. And that's something, you have to consider when you are traveling alone, especially as a female in our part of the world, and I guess in every other part of the world anyway. So it was a night I felt safe with him, and he knew all the nice places. So he just, he was just there. He didn't really interrupt or some people would just be talking all the time. Like, I don't know, they overtalk, and like other people will also be like poking their nose and everything. No, he just takes you there, helps you find a place, and then he's just there. And then you do your own thing. When you're done, you go. So I would recommend him in case you find yourself there and you don't have the transport. In the future, of course, to save some money, I would recommend if you had a car, you drove yourself there. Of course, it's going to be tedious, but I guess you get to explore the road, the journey there. You stop along the way. But yeah, it's very expensive. Transportation is, it's either between, well, when I was staying at Buzia, it was either you got a taxi or some motorbike. Dabubu, yeah, you see them here and there, but they are not really around a lot. So, and even, yeah, transportation was expensive. So if you can walk, you walk. If you can't, well, you have no choice, right? Yeah. So the whole transportation cost had me rethinking whether I wanted to go to Cape 3 Points Beach or not because it was expensive. So I spoke to my sister Ufos, And then she's like, really, Ajo, you're going to go all the way to Takrady? No, not Takrady. Well, yeah, I guess Western region, right? You're going to go all the way to Takrady, and you are not going to go to Cape 3 Points, which was one of the main reasons why you decided to go there anyway. So yeah, she convinced me, like, you know what, sometimes is it really worth it? Yep. I have to think about it, and I realized it's worth it. It's an experience of a lifetime. And yeah, I'm glad she convinced me, because what is the point? What's the money for? You know, what are you saving the money for? Why drive all the way there if you don't do what you intended to do? So yeah, we had to, it wasn't easy, but yeah, we decided going to Cape 3 Point was worth the cost. And yeah, I'm glad we actually did get there. It was, when I got there, I was like so happy. I decided, to go, because it's worth the journey. It's worth the trip. And I think before, the road was so bad, they are now trying to make the road. So I guess in the future it will be even much better. But even then, like, they have some bad um bridges that you cross. But the good thing was, like, I think the driver was also not even, like, enthusiastic to go. I guess from the past experience, the road was just so bad. And he's trying to protect his car here. So he wasn't that excited to go to Cape 3 Point. That's, like, let's just be frank there. But we eventually ended up going, and I'm glad I did. Like, you have to go to Cape 3 Point when you're in Cape, like you're in the Western region. It's such a beauty. Luckily we were able to drive all the way to the lighthouse. We didn't have to cry, crying. Really, man, this America in me would just not let me be, right? Anyway, we didn't have to climb anything. Like, that was one thing I was dreading. Like, already I'm not, well, let's just admit it here. Obviously, from my Afajato video, you realize that I'm not your fittest person in town. So yeah, climbing hills, doing all these walking is not something I enjoy. So I wasn't looking forward to any climbing hills or anything. So I was so happy when we were able to drive directly to the lighthouse. Yeah, that was one, unexpected surprise. I was so happy about that. That's for sure. So we just, looked around. Yeah, Cape 3 Points is a must. And how did I get to the beach and stuff? I went to the beach through Escape 3 Points Lodge. I guess it says, I guess I heard, like, from people's videos though, like, it's a really hot spot. They don't have a lot of rooms. They have these secluded houses that people can stay in. And I guess they also have tents or so, but I guess the houses are nicer, I guess. So they always overbooked or something. So you have to book ahead of time and stuff like that. So I got access to the beach through the Escape 3 Points, and the beach is so beautiful. You can just imagine, sunset and sunrise there. Just spending a day there is a must for me. Like, in the future, when next I go, I'm spending a day at each of these places, because you just have to experience everything fully and not just half. So yeah, that's that. And then we also went to the beach at what's it, the place called? Oh, Aquida Inn. Yeah, Aquida Inn. It's also along the Cape 3 Points stretch. Yeah, that place is also very interesting. We met a nice waitress there. It was just a quiet place. You have to climb though, once again. Like with most of these Ghanaian places, tourist sites, you have to climb there. And yeah, the climbing is not that fun, but I guess nothing good comes easy. So that's something we had to deal with. But it was worth it. It was a nice place. That was like the calmest sea, I guess, well, of all the beaches I went to, right? At a point I was like, "What, am I in a swimming pool or something?" That's just how calm that sea was. I guess the farther you go, the rougher the sea will get, of course. But I was surprised, because I mean, when you compare to Cape 3 Points, you compare to Buzia, you compare to Butre, yeah, that one is a swimming pool. Yeah, and then which other beach did we go to? But of course, Buzia Beach. Buzia Beach, I preferred to spend time by the beach at in front of the Buzia Beach Resort. Um, it was beautiful, and also I think you should explore the part where It's closer to where they have their canoes, where they sell their fishes when they come in the morning. I had one or two unpleasant observations made. Well, the point is, they have some dogs around, so if you are not a dog and an animal lover, that's a little scary. But apart from that, one other thing that really put me off was that, not of course not in front of the Buzia Beach Resort, but in front of the other part, I saw not just one, but at least two people, two men, of course, it's not women, obviously. Two men, they're just like, they are walking, people are just walking around the beach, the stretch of the beach. The man will just stand there in front of the beach, of course, with his back piece facing the rest of us, and then just urinate into the water. Really. So yeah, that was disgusting to me. So I just, yeah, prefer to go swim around the Buzia Beach, in front of the Buzia Beach Resort area, because you can just imagine what people do at that side. But that is not nice, it's not nice. Anyway, Sha. And yeah, so in Buzia, another place I would recommend when you go to Buzia is Ahanta Eco Lodge. Ahanta Eco Lodge and then Scorpion Lodge. They are just right next to each other. Ahanta Eco Lodge is just a vibe. Scorpion Lodge has this thing that you can lie on. It's connected to two. Well, I don't know the name. I still haven't found bothered to find out the name anyway. But point is, like, you can just relax there. It has this chilling vibe. Yeah, it's a must to visit these two places when next you're in Buzia. You also should try the lobster and fry the yam. That's what I had at Arena Beach Lodge. It was really nice. So I'd recommend that. It was garlic lobster, grilled garlic lobster with fried yam. Yeah, it was nice. So I am sure you like it too. What else? What else did we see in Cape Coast? Eh, Cape Coast, no. Western region, Western region. What else did we see? In Western region, we saw some forts, a couple of forts. I think you should, you know, check them out when next you are in Western region. The first one on the list, of course, is Fort Santo Antonio de Axim. Is a beautiful fort, and the view from above is just worth dying for. It's so beautiful. You think you are not in Ghana, like seriously. The sea, it's just the whole scenery is just magical. The next one that gave me a similar feel was, which one? What was the name again? Um, Fort what? What? Oh, how can I forget the name? Boutre, the one at Boutre, Fort Battenstein. Yeah, it's at Boutre. The sea, the view there is also beautiful. It's lovely. Yeah, those two forts you must visit. Fort Grove Friedrichshain, or whatever that name is. It's a pity it's being underutilized, it's just poorly managed. It could have been really renovated to, live up to its status, or the whole fancy name. I was expecting more. I was disappointed with the way it was being managed. Ministry of Tourism do better with that area, because that spot could have been, renovated in a really nice way to make, bring more tourists there. Before went to that particular port, I do my Google search and things to hear people's opinions about it. I went to TripAdvisor. I think that's where I found it, right? TripAdvisor. Someone on Google, like somebody actually just says it's a waste of your money. And sadly, I mean, if you're not a photographer that can, create magic with such a place, it's a waste of money too, a common tourist. I personally wanted to see it, so I went, but there really wasn't much to the place, and I was really disappointed. Yeah, for that particular port. For Santo Antonio de Axim was nice. So which other fort did we visit? Battenstein. Yeah, at Boutre was also a disappointment in a way. Apart from the great view from the top, the fort itself was also unkept. The whole place was just filled with weeds all over. It was just disappointing, They could do better with the place. Fine, it was blasted, blah blah blah. But at least, you can read around the place, just make it nice. That's the reality of tourism in Ghana. Some places it's just a pity. You just have to do a little bit more to move it to that level of Bali and Thailand and co. Yeah, that little more we have to do is the problem, I guess. Anyway, which other fort did we visit? Oh, how can I forget this one? Fort Metal Cross at Disco. Yep, that's another must visit. The Fort Metal Cross at Disco. The view from the top was also beautiful from that fort, that's for sure. Yeah, they had like a resort right next to the fort. I guess COVID has, really, really affected it because from the pictures I saw on the net and what I physically saw, there was a big difference. Obviously, it's been unkept, and yeah, it's sad. Over there at that particular resort, I think it's called the Fiddler's Resort, right? Yeah, they actually do have accommodation, 100 cities per night. So you get a room that looks like one of the fort buildings right on the beach, to stay. I didn't really get to tour the room, but that's interesting. You hear the sea crashing against the rocks. That place was rocky, so I couldn't really get really close to the sand, the sea. So it was from a distance, but the view from the top is worth it. Going to this scope was another, challenge, and I'm glad I did go there because I also like. Once again, it was the whole money factor, but I guess it was worth the journey. So yeah, you should visit Fort Metal Cross when next you are in the Western region. What else? Yeah, I think that's it. That's all the places I visited, right? Yeah. So conclusion, right? Accommodation is reasonable, well, it starts from I guess 80 cities, 100 cities, and it goes up. So it depends on your budget. Whichever hotel you want, you can get. Transport is one of the most expensive, you spend on. So you have to take that into consideration. If you have a car, I would recommend you take your car there. But of course, that means you have to, I guess, lodge at a place. Depends on the kind of car you have. You have to lodge at a place where, well, your car can't be stolen. Then the people there are nice. Most of them are really nice. But beware of who you ask for direction, right? I remember using my Google map. Yeah, using my Google map, and it tells me, oh, it's 8 minutes walk to Ahantaiku Lodge from. I lodged at a Marina Beach Lodge. Yeah, and so I decided to walk there. I was walking there, and then the Google on my phone, because the Huawei is a little tricky. Yeah. So anyway, point is I decided to ask. I think that, I mean, if you don't know something, you ask. Most of the time you'll be given a good answer, and it can help you just achieve your goal faster and easier. I don't see why you pretend you know everything when you don't. So that's a personal view of mine. So anyway, so we went. So I stopped. There was this guy selling in a kiosk by the road on the way there, and I asked him, how do I get to Ahantaiku Lodge? And this guy made it look like it was so far I needed to take a taxi. I'm like, seriously? So no, my instinct told me no, Ajwa. This guy just over exaggerating everything. So I decided to walk further. And yep, it wasn't that far. Actually, like when you go through the water, there are two routes there. So there's one when you use the bridge. That's when you have to pass through the town, and then there's another one that you use the beachfront part. You know. So yeah, so sometimes you have to listen to your instinct. If the direction you get does not make sense to you, you feel there's something off, listen to it. Most of the time your spirit knows better. So it's not all advice you should take. Know who you should take advice for. Fine, you can ask, but if it doesn't feel right, most of the time it's not. So that's one thing I learned. Yeah. And then what else? So the people are nice in general. I mean, they are just minding their business. Yeah, they'll help you if they can. That's it. What else? The food. Oh, food was a disappointment. I think those places are not places you go for the food. If you want really good food, Accra is there. All the hip places are there. Food for me wasn't one of the highlights in Western region, that's for sure. What else? What else do you talk about? Hmm. Transport there, you can use a flight to get to Takrady, and then you take a car from Takrady to your destination. Or what else? You can drive there. It's up to you. So the choice is really up to you anyway. But transportation is expensive, you know. Yeah. And then what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's it, right? We've covered the major parts. The entrances to most of the forts was let's say between 10 to 20 cities. Yeah. So it's reasonable, you know. Um to the beach, to the beaches, most of them access to the beaches are free, you know. It's only at what's the name? Blue Moon that I had to pay was it 50 cities to have access to the beach. But the other places you just walk around, I guess. Yeah. Butre, you have to pass over a bridge. That was scary, but it was interesting as an experience. So I recommend going to the Butre beach. You pass through the town as well, so you get to experience the village life. You know, it's interesting. It's a fishing community, I guess. Most of the communities there are fishing. It makes sense. They are by the beach, so yeah. And so I guess you get good price for seafood there. So if you love seafood, I'm sure you get it at a reasonable price, and I guess you pay a small fee. I remember buying lobster. I bought three huge ones for 110 cedis, and I just paid like 20 cedis to one of the beach spots to just peel it for me. It was nice, so it was okay, you know. Yeah, so I guess that's it. And when you're in Buzia, this just reminded me, you should, visit kangaroo pouch what resort or restaurant, kangaroo pouch something. It has this nice view of the beach. I think you can just sit there, for lunch or to just have a drink, and just it will be interesting to experience sunset from that spot. That's for sure. And then there was a African Rainbow Resort. It has this really high building, so from the top as well, you can experience sunset. It's beautiful. It's just a pity that I postponed it to the last day, and the day I decided to go, yeah, the sun decided to just disappoint me. So, yeah, that was a few. So I think that's my whole Western region tour in a nutshell.